Chapter 2: The Ways We Miss Out on Happiness. Suresh Oberoi. It is I who create my happiness or sadness. I am responsible. How can I be happy if I have not achieved something in life? Sister Shivani. There are two dynamics here. One, if I achieve this, then I will be happy. Second, I will be happy while achieving this. Suppose we are on a journey from X to Y. When we begin the journey, people wish us and say, "Have a safe journey." They don't say, "Reach your destination" in any way. It's not only reaching the destination, it's the quality of the journey that counts. Suresh Oberoi. Many of us believe we just have to reach our destination by hook or by crook. Sister Shivani, let's look at it this way. I set a goal for myself, whether marks as a student, as a professional, or in my relationships. We set specific goals at every age, and without goals, we become passive. We would not know where I am heading. The other thing I do is tell myself I will be happy when I reach the goal. The goal may take 6 months or 6 years. Suppose I aim at reaching a certain destination at my workplace in the coming 2 years. I start my journey. I focus on my projects, my performances, my rapport with colleagues. But at the back of my mind is this thought that only when I reach there I will be happy. Somewhere down the line, if my performance dips a little, or any of my colleagues aren't cooperative, or if any other obstacle comes my way, what happens to me? Suresh Oberoi, I will not be happy. Sister Shivani, I create stress, I create anxiety. Why? Because people are coming in the way of my happiness. I see them as obstacles, not just to my goal, but to my happiness. I walk from here to there, and my mind says my happiness is there. While I am walking, you are in the way. And because you are in the way, I see you as someone standing in the way of my happiness. I might choose to do anything to get you out of the way. If you are a junior, I might order you to work faster. If you are a peer, I might consider you to be a threat. And I can plot against you to get you out of my way. I might even compromise on my values by telling a lie to take a shortcut. This means I begin to think that living by my values and principles can delay my happiness. Suresh Oberoi, as long as you get happiness, how does it matter if you were to lie? Sister Shivani, at this moment, we are still on the journey. We haven't reached the destination yet. While on the journey, I am creating anger and stress, and I am compromising on my values and principles. I am creating negative emotions in the course of my journey. For 6 months, I create anxiety and stress, which in turn can disturb my relationships and create issues with people at work. My emotional turmoil will eventually start affecting my physical health. Finally, when I reach my goal after 6 months, how will I feel? Suresh Oberoi, don't you think you will be happy? Sister Shivani, I have created all these negative emotions on the way and radiated them to everyone around me. It is like I have fallen down, hurt myself, and by the time I reached there, I'm emotionally bruised. But because I have reached there, I am very happy. My conditioning says happiness is dependent on achievements. Suresh Oberoi, you may apologize to family for having late nights or being irritable. Sister Shivani, if you set a 6 months goal, For the entire duration, you are allowing yourself to get bruised and hurt emotionally. Suresh Oberoi. We are not just postponing happiness, we are creating unhappiness and multiplying it. Sister Shivani, exactly. In the first 6 months, to reach A, I was bruised because I created negative emotions around me, hurt people, lost my temper, whatever. By the time I reach, my emotional strength has dipped, subsequently is going from A to B. I become weaker. It is the same environment, same people, same situations, but a weak me. It means I am going to get bruised further. Suresh Oberoi, are you referring to emotional strength? Sister Shivani, yes, my power to face situations, I will get hurt more easily. I will react impulsively and I will get irritated often. Suresh Oberoi, these behaviors make you physically weak too. Sister Shivani, it's certainly going to affect the body. But when we are young, we don't feel the impact. We think it is fine, natural, and the way to live. It takes a few years for the body to start showing symptoms of hypertension, diabetes, or other illnesses. Since we accepted stress as a part of life, we also accept physical symptoms and illnesses as inevitable. Suresh Oberoi, I'm still not clear how someone can be happy without achieving goals. He comes home with problems as a failure. Sister Shivani, let's say I have been looking for a job for 6 months. I have not been getting it. And so I become demotivated and upset. As a friend, what would you say to me? Suresh Oberoi, don't worry, such things happen. You will get a job soon. Sister Shivani, if I ask, how can I not be worried? What will you say? Suresh Oberoi, by worrying, will you get it? Sister Shivani, exactly. We just need to say this to ourselves. By worrying, will I get a job? Suresh Oberoi, easier said than done. Sister Shivani, but that's the solution. The more I worry, the weaker my mind becomes. It starts to show in my body language. I lose motivation. I need confidence. I need to be enthusiastic. I need to be ready to seize opportunities. It's not about what has happened, it's about what I need to do now. How does my state of being have to be? I have to take care of that without getting trapped in a viciously negative cycle. Who would employ a demotivated individual? Who would like to hire an irritable, weak, intolerant, and dispirited employee? Whatever the situation, whatever the challenge, I cannot get a solution unless I take care of myself. If my business is not doing well and I worry, I will still not be able to do any better. If I want to do well outside, I will have to be well within. More importantly, even if I don't do well, at least I can take care of myself. Suresh Oberoi, my guru told me about a man who was worried about a legal case he was fighting. He was also worried about his wife, who was very sick. He won the case after 15 years, and even his wife recovered. But he himself fell sick and died. Sister Shivani, it's about priorities in life. What are my responsibilities? We normally consider family, job, finances, relationships, friends, country. We can take care of everything else except taking our own responsibility. Let's say we are a family of five and four of them are unwell. If I want to be their caretaker, I need to be healthy myself. This is about physical health. The same applies to emotional health. I want to take care of my children. my spouse, my parents. I want to ensure that they are happy, but I cannot do it if I am in pain. Suresh Oberoi. I even get sad when my children are not able to do well in the class. I wanted them to be swimmers, tennis players, and so on. Sister Shivani. Why? For their happiness? Finally, I want everyone around me to be happy. Suresh Oberoi. And if they are happy, I will be happy. Sister Shivani, spirituality teaches us that when I am happy and then take care of them, they will also be happy. Suresh Oberoi, being happy, I radiate my energy so I can make others happy too. Sister Shivani, because you make them stronger. Let's see what is happiness. Happiness is internal strength. It does not mean excitement. I am not going to be jumping and dancing the whole day. I have lost my job and I am not excited about it. Suresh Oberoi, happiness is strength. Sister Shivani, at any given point in time, there can only be one thought in our mind. One thought possesses one quality. That one quality could be either the right quality or the not so right quality. If I am creating a pure, powerful, and positive thought, then it is the right quality. If I am creating a negative thought, an unpleasant thought, a thought of anxiety, pain, and worry, it's a wrong thought. If it's a right thought, I feel good. If it's not the right thought, I feel low. If it's the right thought, then I feel good. And that is stability. If it is not the right thought, I feel low. And that is weakness. Suresh Oberoi. So, stability is strength. Sister Shivani. If you are stable, you are strong. This strength will then shape the way you respond to situations. You said, I want my child to have good marks, but that may not happen every time. When he fails to score the expected marks or the score he is capable of getting, what is your state of mind? You may get upset. Is that good for you? No. Is that good for the child? No. Then why create it? The marks did not create the feelings. You were its creator. Suresh Oberoi. But I would have thought it was just normal to be upset and feel sad. Sister Shivani, once I get upset, my child also gets upset and demotivated. I expect him to do well in that demotivated state of mind. The energy that I am giving to those around me is not positive. And that's why I am not fulfilling my responsibility well. When my child scores less, my first responsibility is to first take charge of my mind. I have to remain composed so that I don't react impulsively. My next responsibility is to take care of his state of mind. After that, I need to calmly explain that he needs to study responsibly and score well the next time. Suresh Oberoi. We usually do the opposite. We deplete their energy, lower their self esteem, and belittle them. Today, suicide rate among the children is on the rise. Sister Shivani, a big reason why a child commits suicide is that he is unable to face his parents after a failure. It is not because he failed, it is because he does not want to see his parents unhappy and he holds himself responsible for their unhappiness. The parents had conditioned and insisted that they would be happy only when he performed well. Suresh Oberoi, I thought it was my responsibility to ensure my child achieves his goal, whether in studies, sports, or whatever else. But have I been doing the opposite? Sister Shivani, every individual's life is based on four aspects: physical health, intellectual development, emotional state of being, and spiritual health. If I want to be successful and want my children to be successful in life, these four aspects need to be balanced. As my responsibilities towards my child, I consider his academic and extracurricular performances and I take care of his physical health. I might ensure the best home, the best food, the best comforts. For his social well being, I expect him to have good friends. But how is my child feeling? We are not focused on that. Physically and academically, he may be doing very well, but constant pressure, constant comparison with other children, and the constant criticism he gets will deplete his emotional strength. As a parent, I need to ask myself whether I am fulfilling my responsibility. Tomorrow, he could grow up to be an excellent doctor or lawyer and be physically healthy. But if he is emotionally weak, will he be successful? And if he is not resilient, can he be happy? Suresh Oberoi, what happens if he is not emotionally strong? Sister Shivani, if I am a good doctor, technically I am good. But if I am not emotionally strong, then I will get irritated very easily. I will react easily. I will not empathize with patients or colleagues. I will not get along with people because I am intolerant. Can I still call myself a good doctor? We were all taught how to read, how to write, how to speak. No one taught us how to think. Suresh Oberoi, we knew only about IQ. EQ came into the picture much later. Sister Shivani, IQ is undoubtedly important, but so is emotional strength. An emotionally strong person can handle all struggles and challenges. With a strong IQ, we need emotional strength to be successful. Suresh Oberoi. Years ago, adults would slap children to discipline them. If they scored less marks, children were scared to reveal it at home. Sister Shivani, right, we need to ask ourselves whether we are fulfilling all our responsibilities correctly. It is not enough to fulfill just the one responsibility of getting them to perform well. What about our responsibility of making a child resilient? Sister Shivani, right. We need to ask ourselves whether we are fulfilling all our responsibilities correctly. It is not enough to fulfill just the one responsibility of getting them to perform well. What about our responsibility of making a child resilient? Life is going to present a lot of challenges. Today, our child might be a topper, but will marks alone help him face life's challenges? Suresh Oberoi. He may be emotionally so weak that he cannot cope with several of life's situations. Sister Shivani, exactly. If he has to face even a small failure, he will not be able to cope. What if he has to work with people and he cannot get along? We did not take care of that aspect. Why? Because we had not taken care of that aspect in our own lives. We ignored the importance of being emotionally healthy. We thought our responsibility is to take care of everything external, whether in our lives or the lives of those for whom we were responsible. Suresh Oberoi, most men consider earning money to be their biggest responsibility. Sister Shivani, they need to check if their family is happy, if they believed happiness comes from outside. Suresh Oberoi, we provide toys, clothes, food, education. If they don't study, we blame their sanskaras, their school, or peer pressure. We keep blaming other people. Sister Shivani, because we are not ready to take that responsibility. It's easy to earn and to send a child to the best school, to give the best food, the best home, and the best of everything. But it's a huge challenge to make a child emotionally strong? Suresh Oberoi, the most important thing to realize is that first I have to be emotionally strong. Let us do a meditation. Sister Shivani, while taking care of children, we always need to remember we can send our child to the best school without having gone to school ourselves. We can ensure that our children eat well, even if we sleep on an empty stomach. But it is not possible to make our children happy without being happy ourselves. You cannot make your child emotionally strong without being emotionally strong yourself. So that's where the responsibility comes to experience it yourself first. Sit back and reflect on these thoughts. Let us look at the journey of our life. Aims, objectives, achievements, milestones to cover. That is my journey. Let me look at myself on the journey. The traveler with the changed consciousness. Happiness is not at the destination. Happiness is my state of being on the journey. I am happy, stable, in control, powerful while I am on the journey. There are obstacles on the way. But my first responsibility is to take care of my state of being, of the way I respond. This is my responsibility. Om Shanti.